When you finish a book, you still think to the characters, what you let it there, or you close the subject?
Well, yeah. Usually I just leave that world, and I never return to it. Of course, I think about them, and if I see a new edition of the book, or if there is a translation of the book, and I'm talking to the translator, I have to think about it again and go there again. But in general, I just say goodbye to that world and look for another world, you know. So I'm like an alien on a spaceship. I go from planet to planet, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like in the video clip of what was the name, Moby, you know?
Yes, yes.
It's a video clip. What's the name of the what does my heart feel so bad that it's a lonely planet and a small dog?
Yeah. No, so I really like try to go to a new world and discover new things, and to work with new language and new situations. Yes.
What it's doing now that Arham he find now what problem has with his sexuality?
Yes, the angel has found his sexuality, and now the angel is free. So I don't need to read more about the angel, because the angel has turned into a beautiful female angel and can enjoy the new freedom.
Yeah, that's cool. But do you have, you're not from UAE, but do you have a European feeling?
Yes, I think Iceland, which is at the very edge of the European map, and you know the feeling, has a long history of seeing itself as a part of European culture, and most of us understand that, and are just happy to be in a conversation with other Europeans. This is the place where we were born. This is the culture we are born into. We have a long shared history. It's not always a happy history, but we can do what we can to make it a better history. So I think we see ourselves as Europeans, even though we are not members of the European Union.
Europe is much more than European Union.
Yes. There is a long history without the European Union, and different exchange of culture and books and literature and art, you know. And if you look at it like that, then we are just one people. Yeah.
Speaking about the books, when you was young, your library was more important at home, or you go to the municipal library or the academic library?
Well, there was a very good municipal library, and I started going to it when I was 6 or 7 years old, and they had wonderful librarians who took care of you and showed you exciting things, and when you got older they said, maybe you should look at something more difficult now. Here's a big book, would you like to try a big book? So that was very important. But when I was growing up, most Icelandic homes had quite good home libraries. And there were things in the home library that I discovered which I would not have discovered in the other library. And those were the things that I started reading when I had finished the books from the library. So I started reading like books for adults, you know. That's when I started reading poetry. I started reading big books on Icelandic folk lore,
very,
you know.
Very good.
You know, so that's where I discovered many things, also in the library at home.
And we have in Chișinău, to the municipal library, we have a literary club. We do it together with young people who want to be a writer or something, or just with people who want to meet authors, and it's kind. We have different different events. sometimes we just make meetings with very well-known authors. But when the people read, when the young read, we even can give some advice. Do you have something like that in Iceland? You do this in a municipal library or in at home with friends?
No, well, the municipal libraries in Reykjavik, which are the libraries that I know because I still go quite a lot to the library. They have many different programs for young people and also for adults. And today, what is maybe most important, they have a very good program for immigrants or people who are coming to Iceland and are learning the Icelandic language or trying to get to understand Icelandic culture. They also have very good programs for them. So I think the libraries are really key points in keeping our countries in a good shape, you know. And of course for us as writers, it's great that some people are actually telling other people you should read this,
yes.
You know. We can't complain about that.
Yes, know. But I think it's even strange when you go to the library, the people recognize you, I suppose.
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
It's like, wow, Sjón.
He's here, yeah. And I go there all the time, you know. I mean, yes.
But I see, even so, you are not afraid about people.
No, I'm not afraid of people. No. And you know, when I'm in the library, I'm just one of the people in the library. But you know, so much of my time in my life has been spent in libraries, in bookshops. You know,
yes.
I mean, I can't count that.
Yeah.
Can't count the hours. You know, it's really amazing. You know, I go into a library and I'm maybe just going for a specific book. And then I come out like 3 hours later, you know.
Nice. Your poetry seems to me really great. You are not frustrated that you have already 3 novels translated, but no one of poetry.
Yeah, the poetry is always more obscure. In this world, not much is translated of poetry in general. I mean, in Iceland, we try to translate as much poetry as we can, but you know, it's not easy to get a whole book of poetry, translated poetry published. You know, so we have to discover it at poetry festivals, or we have to discover it in magazines or on internet websites, and the publishers are always interested in novels, and I just hope that some of the people who read the novels go on the internet and find some poems.
The poetry.
But I of course would be glad to have some poems translated to Romanian. Tonight here at the festival there is a marathon poetry reading, and we have translated 5 of my poems into Romanian for that, you know. So it's starting.
It will be alphabetic how they announce the event. I have the honor to be immediately after you.
Yes, we will be there. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if it's alphabetic or not.
If I will choose, I don't let you in the end because you don't understand the Romanian from the others, and it's quite strange to wait 3 hours for.
Yeah, but still, you know, I enjoy the sound of languages, especially in poetry, because in poetry we are always working with, you know, the delivery of the sentence, you know, breaking up the sentence. So there is always musical quality to it.
Yes, it's true.
And you know, I am sure I will understand a little bit because of the origin of the language. You know, I mean, when I'm listening to people here, I'm picking up little words here and there. You know, so
that's good. You know. My husband always gets tired when he hear language he don't understand.
Yes, maybe for 3 hours it can be a little bit tiring, but you know, for 1 hour and a half it's okay.
The Blue Fox, it's going from a novel in another one with your Blue Fox. It's very different about Your Eyes Have Seen Me. Okay, we discussed that before, but for me here,
yes.
David, Do you try in every book to make something different?
Yes, for me to enjoy the writing, there has to be something new in every book. You know, a new style or a new language, a new approach to telling the story. So in Your Eyes Saw Me, we have a very fragmented storytelling. We have a story that goes from the ground to the cosmos, you know, and it is always changing direction and all of that. And I'm using many different styles of languages there as well. So when I started working on the Blue Fox, which is a story that takes place in a remote valley in the snow in the winter in Iceland, it has elements of folk story. I felt that I needed to find a completely different style, more lyrical style, more direct style.
But you keep your sarcasm there when you talk about pregnancy?
Yeah. Of course, you know, I do not completely change for the book, you know. No, but for me it's very important to have a new challenge, a new challenge to solve somehow in every book. So every book has new elements in it.
Alexandru asked you if what you think you ever could write poetry about Moldova in a country you never saw it.
That's a very good question and a good challenge, you know. I am sure I can write a poem about Moldova without ever coming there, but I'm not sure it will be a good poem. You know, I think it will. You know, so I might write a better poem about Moldova if I would go there.
Yeah, of course. So, we hope to have you there one time. What are you reading now? What book you are reading now?
At the moment, I am actually reading a non-fiction book. It is a book about Werner Herzog, the filmmaker, when he was making a film called Heart of Glass. And it is a film that takes place in the 17th century in a small village. And this village has always had the secret of making blood red glass. And then the glassmaker dies without telling anyone the secret. And this secret is necessary for the townspeople because it is the only product they have is the red glass, and it's their only pride, and it's a big part of their self-ideas. So when he dies, they start looking for the recipe, and they all go mad. And when Herzog made the film, he came up with an extraordinary.
And this is non-fictional?
Yeah, this is no. Yeah, the book is about the making of the film.
Okay.
Because when he made the film, he came up with an extraordinary approach. So he had all the actors in the film except one hypnotized. So all the people in the film, when they're acting, they are under hypnosis. So they look like they are sleeping, but they are still saying their lines. They are moving very slowly and strangely.
Very strange.
And they are saying absolutely crazy things, you know, because he has told them 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, you know, like something like this. When you open your eyes, you will see a giant, and you will tell us about the giant. So it's a crazy project. And there was an American young man, film student, who was with him when they were doing the film, and he's telling the story of how Herzog made this film. And I just love it.
Yes, I believe you.
Yes. So that is the non-fiction I'm reading. The fiction I'm reading is a Mexican author called Cristina Rivera Garza. She is born 1965. She has two books recently published in English, and I have just discovered her and think she is doing wonderful things.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
No, she's not very well known. She's published by small publishers in the United States and England, but I hope she will become more known because those are very special books.
last question. Do you come in Chișinău in November when the football team of Iceland will play against Moldova?
Ah, really? I didn't know that they were playing Moldova. So the Moldovan team is coming to Iceland?
Yes.
I will be on the lookout for it. You know, it's very cold to play outside in November in Iceland. So let's hope they can actually do it, you know.
Iceland come in Moldova.
Iceland is coming to Moldova,
Yes,
that's
and
easier.
sometimes maybe you join them.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, that's what you mean. Yeah, maybe they will put me in their back, you know.
Thank you very much. It
Well,
was
thank
a
you.
real pleasure to have you here to the interview of the Bibliotecii, of the library, Interviurile Bibliotecii, and for Sandu it's a big shot now with this interview.
Well, I'm very glad to be a part of this series of interviews for the library because I love libraries.
Yes, and we really hope if somewhere we manage to invite in Moldova someday, we will be very happy to meet our young people from the literary club Republica.
Yes, and I hope I will meet them.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.